What's good with it in the hood with it? The double. What's up, Gunners Collective? We're back, homes. And I wanted to speak on some real shit right here. I wanted to tell a story, and as you can tell by that thumbnail, yeah, you see that? That's true life. That's real life. That's my camarada, my homeboy, my good homie, from my neighborhood. Now, there's a lot of people that speak on my name, right? And want to act like I was just hanging around with poop butts or I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like I ain't never been nowhere. And that's fine. That's cool, man. To each their own. The hatred is real. I understand that. What you benefit from that, I don't know. But I don't want my channel to be a back and forth channel. I don't want my channel to indulge in that anymore. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of more different content, bringing on and doing some interviews on some real ones. But people I've interacted with, people that I know, that know me, that can stamp and verify a lot of the stories I tell and things that I do. Not that I'm trying to prove myself on any capacity or any level, but at the end of the day, it always feels good to reminisce and hear some righteous stories, especially when you were involved in them. Now, the homeboy you see right there on the thumbnail, that's my best crime partner, eh? ¿Entiendes, Mendes? Órale. That vato right there is the homie. Now, he had a life just like I had a life. And, our lives, although they took us on the same path for a long time, we ended up going different ways and then coming back together. And that's just the way it is in life. When you're out there gang banging homes and you're on the streets and you're really living that and you're doing that at a high level, hey, it's all good in the hood, man. You're getting admired, admonished. Everyone's like, hey, what's up, bro? You're that one. And then later on, what happens? I'm going to tell you what happens. If you fall off or you back up or something don't go the way everyone thinks it should, well, then you're just not that one anymore. Now you're a poop butt, basura, and all kinds of other shit. But later on, homes, when people come back into the fold and everything's good and hood again, it's like it never happened. It's like it never went awry, right? Like you never fell off or nothing ever happened. So anyways, that vato right there, he comes from a very prominent family in my area. And, him and his carnales, his brothers, man, were all righteous dudes. His carnales righteous, right? He comes from an era right after the 90s era. An era of the 2000s when the wiggle was still real, but it was real on a whole different level. See, in the 90s, there was drive-bys happenings. It was real gangbanging. It was establishment. People were still establishing vaudeville's. People were still establishing their namesake, their respect. About the 2000s is when gunplay really came into play. That's when people were really, really, really out there with the activities. That's when people started to function. That's when gang members started to be released from the, to the streets and start to set up regiments up north and start to establish for the gente and for the people and to rock a narrative, man. And that's when it got just a little bit more structured on the streets and we started to fuck with the game appropriately or how we were told to, because that's what we were supposed to do. You fall right into the seam, homes. You don't go against the grain because the grain will cut you. And that's just it. So the homie right here, I remember first running into him. I know his whole family. But I had never quite kicked it with them as a kid because, like I said, he was younger than me. He came from a different era. About the time he was coming up, gangbanging, getting involved, and jumped into the barrio, I was in CYA, holding it down for the gente, establishing what I had for my people, gaining my respect, so that way when I got out, my name was golden and good, like a golden grand bear, right? So I got out, and I run into his carnal. Now, his brother, rest in peace, my homeboy Tete, definitely was one of my taitas, one of my good homeboys. We were inseparable, always together, chilling, kicking it. I had a lot of love for the homies. Recently passed, man. And like I said, it's nothing but love. He had health issues. And that's just, we'll leave it at that. That was my good friend. But this vato right here, Titi, very loved in the town. Very feared, but always respected. I didn't like him at first. And I'm going to be real and honest with you. I didn't like them because when you run into people and their shit, they act like their shit don't stink, you don't hit it off. But a common understanding of the movement we were pushing and what we truly believed in brought us together. There was things about him I didn't like. There was things about me he didn't like. But the coming together was real. When you see a real one and you recognize that, you understand. And this is the story about how we became best crime partners. It was popping in the town. It was popping. I'm not going to give exact dates and times because obviously I don't want to get caught up, but it was popping like in a real way. And this was just about when dropouts were starting to get released to the city and the town. And they were trying to establish their name. There was Northern Riders and New Flowers and just different little things that were popping up. And we were hearing about it. And at this time, my neighborhood was highly functioning. myself, the homeboy right here, you know, we were all part of a group, an elite group of gente and soldados, man, that our whole mission in life and what we wanted to do was eradicate the other side and eradicate any threat that posed, you know, was posed to us. We had no love for the opposition. We were showing no mercy and no love. We were representing that red baño to the fullest, and that's what we were going to do. We understood with that came death or life in prison. We understood that we were going to get stretched out in due time, but we were striving to achieve a certain level. See, there was a group of Northerners and Norteños in the town that were just happy to be what they were. They were just happy to hang around and drink a fucking Bud Light. They were just happy to smoke a bowl and kick it amongst the homies. And then there were those of us that were on a different level. We didn't strive to just kick it. We strived to kick it, if you know what I mean, right? We strived to get very political, and we played the politics, man. We were the ones pushing that narrative. We were the ones out there trying to get in people's ears and establish for the homies and let the homies know exactly how it was, because we had done an extensive amount of time, each of us in and out of the system, from YA to prison. So anyways, what has happened was my homeboy Titi, I started kicking it with his brother Tets. Real tough, man. And I ain't even going to lie, man, we were out there having it our way. We were getting money, getting paper, and just doing our thing. Now, at the same time, we had a little circle of homeboys. And Titi was definitely within that circle of homeboys. He was a good-ass homie, and I would see him from time to time. He would pop up at the parties. Well, we all started to hang around more. There was little after spots that we'd go to, chicks' houses where we'd go kick it. And he was always just a real serio vato, real quiet. And like I said, man, we didn't see eye to eye. We didn't mesh. You know, I was a little bit boisterous, outlandish, didn't give a fuck, was ready to get off anytime. And he was more cold, smooth, and calculated and thought about his actions before he did them. I'll just shoot you and keep on pressing. This vato will tell you and explain to you why he would do it, right? I didn't have time to talk. No added preservatives. Let's just go. Menudo. So, eventually over time, we find ourselves in a situation, I've told the story before, where there's a DO that gets out. And at the time when this guy got out, this guy was a dangerous individual. This guy was pushing an agenda. This guy was really trying to let all active Norteños know that he wasn't going nowhere. He wasn't going to be pushed out of the town. And he was going to get you before you got him. So I didn't like that. So I was going, no, I can't go for that. No, Lord. No, baby. I can't go for that. I was on my Darrell Hall, and the homeboy was John Oates. We were about to get it, right? So the hunt was on. You get us or we get you, but someone's getting got. There was plenty of times, man, where we would fucking go out to do our thing, and this guy was able to wiggle. The wiggleization was just that much real. 5 minutes, 3 minutes. I mean, one time he bent the block. I bent the block. One time I ran into him, and he jumped the fence in the backyard and got somewhere. This guy was not unapproachable, but hard to approach. You couldn't get at him, and then you know if you did, you better be not lacking. You better be ready, because he'll let you have it. He lived by instincts and instincts alone, barely. So, because the homeboy had the same frame of mind as me, although we had different estilos, we started to become closer. We started to function together. A lot of the things that we got involved in and we did simultaneously side by side, because we both believed in the same outcome. That's what we wanted to happen. Why I say he's my best crime partner? Because he truly was. There's things that I've done with him that I never did with any other people, no other homeboys, because I know he knew how to keep his fucking mouth shut, stay quiet, and at the end of the day, homes, we can just go our separate ways and come back together for business, and that's it. And that's how it was. This is the homeboy that I went to Juarez, Mexico with. This is the homeboy when I ate the tacos de perro and the bomb-ass hamburgers in fucking Juarez. This is the homeboy that was right there with me. These were the type of individuals I was functioning with on the calles and on the streets. I wasn't kicking back with poop butts and Johnny come latelys. I was kicking back with motherfuckers who were already there, and if they see a torta, they're trying to come in her lately. That's what I was doing. I wasn't on Jody Wiley. What have you done for, or is that fucking Janet, Miss Jackson to be exact, because she's nasty. I don't know. All I know was I was out there really doing it, okay, with some real good homeboys. So we end up getting caught up. We come back from Mexico. We separate. First, we're staying in a safe house, man. We're out the way. One of the homeboys steals, got us a safe house. We're trying to chill. But me and the homeboy right here, we're not seeing eye to eye. We're not getting along. You know, when you're fucking with the homeboy all day long, we went to Mexico, we're over here, we're kicking it over there, we're on the run, so we're stressing. You know, he's got a lady, I got a lady. We're going through situations. You start to fucking get tired of their mascara. Damn, bro, fuck. And me and him getting a big argument. He probably don't remember. I just talked to him last night, right? But he probably don't remember, but we got in a big-ass argument. To which, at the end of that argument, I said, well, fine then, do your own thing. He said, no, you do. This is my house, right? You do your own thing. I said, well, hold up. I'm the big homie. We're supposed to. Look, at the end of the day, we both left. We were frustrated. And I remember saying to him, you're going to get locked up before I do. Shit, watch. I know how to wiggle. He was like, shit, you will. I did. So I ended up going to my chick's house. And of course, they raided. I got told on. I got caught, right? So I get locked up. And the homeboy's still out there wiggling. And of course, we were all on the front page of the newspaper. They were looking for us. We had went to the bar. We had fucking tried to whack a DO, whatever, allegedly. And I get caught up. And let me tell you what a real one does, since I'm not a real one and I'm some punk. And I'm going to try to get the homeboy on to tell it in his own words, because me saying it is just saying it, right? But he'll stamp it and correct it. They had us both chalked up for this case. You know, he was still on the run, but I was already got. Yeah, I could have been a punk and been like, oh, that's not me. But we seen you in the bar. It wasn't me. And we seen you with the R. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, homie, right? It was him, right? But no. Nah, see, the gun didn't do none of that. Let me tell you what the gun did. And this is why there's so much love still between me and the homeboy. Even when I was non-active and he was still functioning at the most elite and highest level, there was still that love, that respect, that unspoken respect. Because what I did is what a real motherfucker's supposed to do. Let me tell you what I did. So, sir, you know, your crime partner, whoop-de-whoop, what crime partner? He wasn't even there. Well, we have several witnesses. I don't give a fuck what they say. I did it. This is me. I did all that. Everything that the rata fucking told you I did is what I did. The homie wasn't even there. I don't even know that guy, right? You know what I mean? Está feo. You know what I mean? That's not, you know what I mean? Fucking with you, it's right? But I took the whole case. They dropped the charges on the homie. Facts. Real talk. Real life. And I went to prison for 4 years on that case. And I didn't get no money sent to me. I didn't get no love, man. In fact, this was the second term, right? To which I went and got locked up, and then my career fell apart, you know? You guys know the story on that one. But I took that case so that way the homeboy could still be out there with his kids and his family or whatever he had going on. Makes no sense in both of us going down. Now, I was a little butthurt. I was a little upset because I didn't get no letters and no mail and no money, and I got nada, right? No visita and shit. You didn't came in having a lady put her tits up against the window, nothing, right? But what I got was peace of mind and understanding that I know the homeboy appreciated even though he didn't show it. You know, hey, you know how it is. Homeboy get locked up. Hey, out of sight, out of mind. Forgive and forget. We forget to forgive, right? And bye. But over the years after me getting out and I was non-active anymore, and I knew I couldn't affiliate with him because he started to rise through the ranks of the Northern cause. He started to strive like we were trying to do together. And I think it would have happened, man. We were on that same course, elevating our status within what we were doing, the regiment and everything. But like I said, man, it's all about the yard you end up on and all about the people there. So my life took its turn and his life kept going straight. Now, over the years, I would hear his name mentioned, and I heard that anytime my name was mentioned, it was all point bulletin. It was, hey, man, that fool was not allowed to function within the hood, that man right there. And the reason why that was because I posed a threat. See, if no one poses a threat, there's a lot of dropouts out there. There's a lot of people that are non-active. There's a lot of what you consider trash that people don't care if they're in and out of the hood, running around buying dope. They don't care. They'll fuck with them and everything. But if someone poses a threat, if someone you feel like, hey, they're about to get off on us, right? They felt that way. So I was all point bulletin. I was not allowed, right? But sabes que I still wiggle, not wiggle. I was wiggling, but I wasn't supposed to, right? And I knew that. It's just, hey, I keep it real, man, right here. I don't bullshit you guys. This is all facts. Like it or don't. I don't give a fuck. Straight up. But I was hearing that this guy was pushing an agenda on me. My own best crime partner I ever had, right? So anyways, eventually over time, he gets incarcerated and locked up and does a couple stretches. And I'm hearing he's the man, right? And he actually gets pulled as a functioning member. He's a big homie, right? He's a big homie. And I hear it, you know, a couple of his primos get at me, a couple of real righteous homeboys that still fuck with me get at me. They're like, hey, he's on this level now and he's going to be getting out. When he's going to be getting out, so he's coming for everybody's head. They're not playing, right? And I appreciated and respected that. But at the same time, there was always that bond between us. You know, when you do dirt with someone, you fucking slept right there in the bus stop all tired because you're on the run, you know what I mean? And you're trying to knock a chick out the Greyhound, getting up my money at the Greyhound while the homeboy's trying to keep through ya. Yeah, we did all that. The winners were, right? So I always said, you know, I think if push comes to shove and it really comes down to it, this Vato will show me some love, you know? But I don't know. You know, you never know. The type of person he was he was relentless in his attitude towards achieving his set goals. Weren't we all at one point in time, right? Palabra. So, shit happens. And he's out there functioning around the end of hostilities. And according to his words and what he's told me, you know, his family was going through, like I said, a health crisis and ended up passing away, my homeboy. And he just went through some things. And it's his story, man. One of these days, maybe he'll tell it, you know, if I can get him on here to tell it. But for whatever reason, man, he ends up not functioning anymore. You know, didn't lock it up, didn't do none of that. It just found himself in a bad way. And that was it. I'm not here to speak on what it was, right? All I'm here to say, man, is that he was a good ass dude. And I would have fucking did the same shit that he did. Basically, he handled his business. So, he wasn't that man anymore. But that day that he decided to reach out to me and call me, and he had just got out and we talked, that was the day I know he truly was a new man, a changed man, a better man. Not that he wasn't a man when he was gangbanging and doing all that, and not that many of them guys are not, because they are, bro. They are, really. You got to respect it. Everyone's different. But he now was on a different level of mannerisms, a different level of respect. He treated others cool, respectful, rather than just prejudge them or trip out on them because they weren't what he was striving for. And I respect that, man. You know, my homeboy from my neighborhood achieved the highest level you can within what we were striving for. And he became a functioning member of La Nuestra Familia. And I'll never forget the fact when we used to sit around, kick back, Holmes, and do dirt and chill and talk about what we were going to be and how we are going to do. Well, he did that. You know, he did that. And whether he's still functioning or not, that's no never mind. I could truly say that he did that, and he turned his life around. He's a great man, a good father, just had a newborn kid, just takes care of his people and is out the way. You know, he's out the way. And I respect the fact that now we can have civil conversations and reminisce back on times. And he knows, you know, when I tell my stories, it's crazy because I have homeboys that reach out to me. And when I tell these stories, they're like, damn, bro, I remember that. Or damn, bro, or damn, homie, remember that? And I'm like, yeah. And I say, well, most people over here, they don't believe me. They think I'm firing it up. It sounds too good to be true. Too much tapatio. Oh, you didn't put a little tapatio on that one. So I was, hey, why? Because you had the stinky leg? Keep it real. I did have the stink. See? Right? That's just the way it is, man. You appreciate good homeboys when you have them. We still haven't had that conversation, the conversation of where the fuck were you when I was doing time struggling, homes? I needed to yell, voila. Help me out one time. I can't get a caja sopas in my life. I'm over here fucking eradicating people for you, homes, so that way you can live properly. And I can't get something? What about when I picked your canala up when she was struggling, walking by the thing? Come on, girl, let's go, right? I did youth bottles. Can I get $10 in my life? Tiene un dimo. Help me out a paper or something so I can sling it on the yarda. I don't know. All I know is for facts, man, that's a righteous dude right there. That's my best crime partner I ever had. We started out as not enemies, but not friends, and we ended up as brothers, you know? That's a dude I always respect, and I always treat him with that level of respect because he has that coming in my eyes. With that being said, I'm sure he feels the same way. I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of each and every day, man, it's all about you and yours. Who gives a fuck what anyone else says? They don't know. They weren't there. So that's good. But I know, God, I know I don't like you. You're a J-Cat. Suck my chorra is what you want to do. You know, in fact, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's what Tito stuff. Tell your lady. Bang, bang, bang. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I truly believe in, and that's bringing you the best possible content I can. Oh, they hate me because they ain't me, and if they ain't me, they hate me more. Means the same shit. The gun. Bang, bang.